Hello everyone, welcome to the session on quadratic equations based on the recent past examination questions from ICET, whether it is TS ICET or AP ICET. Right, quadratic equation ante enti basic ga 2x plus 4 if it is equal to 8, then we can find 2x is equal to 8 minus 4, 4. So 2x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 4 by 2 will be having. Instead of having 2x plus 4, if we are having x square plus 4 is equal to 8, then what we can say, x square will become 8 minus 4, 4. So x square is equal to 4. That indicates x will be either plus 2 or minus 2. So we are getting two values possible for x. So whenever we have a quadratic, an equation in which the highest power is basically 2 and the remaining powers are basically whole numbers less than 2, then basically that is termed as a quadratic equation. So something like, if you are just observing, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is the standard form of a quadratic equation. And quadratic equation ganaka manam weightage ganaka ICET examination lo chuste, TS ICET lo gaani, AP ICET lo gaani, the number of questions are usually ranging from 0 to 2. And the questions, the models, if you are focusing on quadratic equations, they are mainly dealing with factorization, and sometimes we'll be having the questions based on finding the nature of the roots, which is based on the discriminant, and sometimes we may have the questions based on quadratic expression, finding the maximum value or minimum value, and sometimes word problems also may be there. So in this session, we'll be focusing on those questions that were given in the ICET examination in the recent past. So if you look at the first one here, x square minus 4x minus 12 into x square minus 7x minus 18 into x square minus 15x plus 54 whole under root is given. So basically we are interested in factorization of these quadratic expressions that we are having there. So if you look at the first one, x square minus 4x minus 12 we are having. So to factorize a given quadratic equation or looking at the factors for that one, what we need to do is multiply x square term with the constant term. So x square into minus 12 is nothing but minus 12x square. So minus 12x square ni split jeste, then product of two numbers kinda raste, their sum or difference should be equal to the middle term. If we get that way, that is basically that can be further simplified. So what we can say here is 6 2's is basically what? 12, and 6x into 2x will be what? 12x square. And we are having here not plus 12x square, minus 12x square. That means basically one of them should have negative sign. A negative sign then kundali anadi depends on the sign here. As the sign here is minus 4x, the bigger number if you consider as minus and the smaller number as plus, then basically this will become minus 6x plus 2x will be minus 4x. That means the bigger number should have minus 6x, that minus sign. So x square, further we simplify this one as x square minus 6x plus 2x minus 12. In that way we can simplify that one. Now what we will do is, from these two terms we can take x common. So if we take x common, what is left out? X minus 6. Alane next two terms lonchi 2x minus 12 lonchi 2 common తీసుకోవచ్చు మనం. So 2 common తీసుకుంటే మనకు వచ్చేది x minus 6. Now from these two again we can take x minus 6 common. So it will become x minus 6 into x minus 2. So basically in x plus 2. Basically what we understand is the first expression x square minus 4x minus 12 will become x minus 6 into x plus 2. In the same way, if you are looking at this one, x square minus 7x minus 18, right? We don't have to look at the entire process every time. What are the factors of 18 whose sum or difference is 7 means basically 9 2's. And again negative sign here. That means what we can say, bigger number should have negative sign, smaller number should have positive sign. It is basically x minus 9 into x plus 2. Right? And the last one, what we can say, 54. 54 is basically positive. X square into 54, 54x square. That is positive we are having. So positive means either both should be negative or both should be positive. But as the sign here is negative, we should have basically positive terms there. So what means, what we can say, 6 9's is 54 and 6x and 9x sum will be 15x. So what we can further simplify this one as x minus 6 into x minus 9. So what we understand basically is these terms, if you are writing in the same under root form, this is basically x minus 6 into x plus 2. First I'll write x plus 2 into x minus 6. Right? The next one will become x minus 9 into x plus 2. The next one x minus 6 into x plus 9. Sorry, x minus 9 there. I wrote it as plus 9 there. It should be minus 9 there. Okay. So x minus 6 into x minus 9. Right. So what we understand then, I will erase and write it as x minus 9. Right. X minus 9. So we will write this one in that way. So now it is nothing but x minus 6 into x minus 6 is x minus 6 whole square. X plus 2 into x plus 2 will be x plus 2 whole square. X minus 9 into x minus 9 whole square will be having. So in other words, what we can say is it's basically x plus 2 whole square into x minus 6 whole square into x minus 9 whole square. So what we understand is square and root can be cancelled. It is in simple terms x plus 2 into x minus 9, 6 into x minus 9 will be having. That is given in choice 1. So that means what we can say answer for this question has to be choice 1. So the first question that we started is mainly focusing on factorization of the given quadratic equation or quadratic expression that we are basically dealing with. Okay. So let's look at one more question based on quadratic equations, right? So we will look at the next one, which is mainly dealing with what? Again finding the value of x. If x is an integer and 6 by x plus 2 plus 8 by x plus 3 is equal to 10 by x plus 4 plus 4 by x plus 1, the value of x equals what is the question? Here if you are observing carefully, going for the simplification will take or eat so much of time. Like here if you take the LCM for these two, x plus 2 into x plus 3, 6 should be multiplied with x plus 3 and 8 should be multiplied with x plus 2. So 6 into x plus 3 plus 8 into x plus 2 by what? X square plus x plus 2 into x plus 3. That will become x square plus 5x plus 6. Right or not? In the same way there, 10 into x plus 1 into 4 into x plus 4 divided by x plus 4 into x plus 1. Then we have to go for cross multiplication and simplification. The whole process will take so much of time. So that is the reason instead of going for the simplification, the best thing is substitution of the values. And while dealing with the substitution, we have to think logically or intelligently so that we can avoid some of the values given there. Like if you are observing there, 6 by x plus 2. If we consider x as 4, it is 4 plus 2 divisible by 6 is divisible by 6. But if I consider 3 there, 3 plus 2 is not dividing, right? 3 plus 3, 6 is also not dividing here. 10 by 7 is also not divisible. That means what we understand is 3 cannot be our solution here. Same way, 2 if you are substituting. 2 if you are substituting here, 10 by 6 is okay. 5 by 3 will be having. But 8 by 5 won't be giving us any integer value. That means it cannot be even 2 also. Same way, 4 also we can avoid by taking 4 plus 3 as 7. 8 by 7 is not an integer. So that means what we understand, answer has to be 1 and we just check whether 1 is satisfying or not. If we substitute 1 x as 1 here, 6 by 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is nothing but 3. 6 by 3 is nothing but what? 2. Alane ikkada 8 by 1 plus 3. That will be 4. So 2 plus 2 will be having 4 on the left hand side. Coming to the right hand side, x as 1. Substitute just same as manaki 1 plus 4 is nothing but 10. 5. So 10 by 5 will be 2. To that we are considering or adding 4 by 1 plus 1 means 2. So it's basically 2 plus 2, 4. So satisfying or not? That means for this question, the best way of answering is back substitution. But the point here is keep these points in mind while going for back substitution. Let's look at one more question, mainly dealing with one more aspect of quadratic equation, that is basically dealing with nature of the roots. We know nature of the roots of a quadratic equation is given by its discriminant, which is given by b square minus 4ac if the equation is ax square plus bx plus c. If the quadratic equation, the general form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 we are having, then its discriminant is given by b square minus 4ac. That will decide the nature of the roots. But in this particular case, the equation is not in this form, it is in that given form. So we will make comparison of that equation with the standard equation and take the values for a, b and c. So what is the equation we are having there? A minus b x square followed by 2ax, and next term is what? Plus ab. So constant place lo manaki a plus b undi is equal to 0, right? So now దీన్ని మనం x స్క్వేర్ టర్మ్స్ కంపేర్ చేస్తే a ప్లేస్లో a మైనస్ b ఉంది, అంటే ఇక్కడ a ప్లేస్లో a మైనస్ b సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేయాలి, అండ్ b ప్లేస్లో 2a ఉంది, సో b ప్లేస్లో 2a సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేద్దాం. సో 2a స్క్వేర్ మైనస్ 4 ఇంటూ a ప్లేస్లో మనకి a మైనస్ b ఉంది, అలానే c ప్లేస్లో ఇక్కడ ఏముంది? a ప్లస్ b ఉంది, సో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ a ప్లస్ b. సో దిస్ బేసికల్లీ బికమ్స్ వాట్? 2a హోల్ స్క్వేర్, దట్ విల్ బి 4a స్క్వేర్. అలానే 4 into a plus b into a minus b is nothing but a square minus b square. So 4 times of a square minus b square. So now what we can say further? 4a square minus 4a square cancels. Minus into minus plus will be having. 4b square we will be left out with. Now if you observe carefully, b can it be here 0 means no problem. B can be 0. Because if b is 0, still ax square will be having. A cannot be 0 in that case. So that means what we can say? This 4 is positive number, is multiplied with b as 0, or b can be any other number. Like b as something like minus 1 if you consider. Minus 1 square will be plus 1, or plus 1 only if you are considering plus 1. So what we understand? This will be 4 or 0 or a multiple of 4, which is always positive. That means what we understand? It cannot be negative because b square is always non-negative. 4 is multiplied with that positive number, non-negative number. So b square is non-negative multiplied with 4, it has to be non-negative answer, right? So answer for this question should be choice 2, right? So mainly our focus is on understanding how to deal with basically discriminant. So discriminant is basically b square minus 4ac. That is what is the question that we are having there, right? ఇక్కడ మనకి ఈ పర్టికులర్ క్వశ్చన్లో ఒక పర్టికులర్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఇచ్చి దాని ప్రకారం ఈక్వేషన్ ఫార్మ్ చేయమని అడుగుతున్నాడు. If the price of a quadratic, chocolate goes up by 5 rupees, 18 less chocolates can be bought for a total amount of 1800 rupees. Find the number of chocolates bought earlier. So price of a chocolate goes up by rupees 5. Original price ganaka oka 10 rupees undanukondi. 100 rupees మన దగ్గర ఉన్న అమౌంట్. 100 rupees కి 10 rupees చొప్పున ఎన్ని చాక్లెట్స్ వస్తాయంటే 100 by 10 చాక్లెట్స్ వస్తాయి. ఒకవేళ ప్రైస్ 5 తీసుకుంటే ఎన్ని వస్తాయంటే 100 by 5 20 వస్తాయి. Right or not? So that means what we understand basically, dividing the total amount that we have with the price will give us the total number of chocolates that we can purchase. So same way, if we consider the original price as something like x rupees, original price as x rupees, what is the new price that we have here? It is increasing or decreasing, he is saying. Goes up antada, goes down antada, goes up. So that means it has to be x plus 5. That is x plus 5 rupees, right? So with 1800, how many chocolates can be bought for x rupees means 1800 by x. And with 1800, how many chocolates can be purchased for x plus 5 rupees means 1800 by x plus 5. So మనకి ప్రైస్ పెరిగింది కాబట్టి నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ చాక్లెట్స్ తగ్గుతాయి. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎక్కువ వస్తాయి, ఇక్కడ తక్కువ వస్తాయి. ఎంత డిఫరెన్స్ అంటున్నాడు వాడు? ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది దీనికి కంపేర్ చేస్తే 18 less we will be getting, there is the data. That means here we are getting 18 more. So 1800 by x minus 1800 by x plus 5 is nothing but 18. అవునా? 18 మనం కామన్ తీసుకుంటే మనకి 1800 కామన్ తీసుకుంటే న్యూమరేటర్లో 1 by x minus 1 by x plus 5 ఉంటుంది. Is equal to 18. Right or not? So 1800, 18 లో మనకి 100 times cancel చేయొచ్చు. So 100. Further what we can say? 1 by x minus 1 by x plus 5 is nothing but x plus 5 minus x. That is nothing but what? X cancels. 5 will be left out. So I'll write that one. 100 into x plus 5 minus x by x into x plus 5. That is x square plus 5x is equal to 1. So in other words what we can say? X cancels there. So x square plus 5x, 100 by x square plus 5x is equal to 1 will be getting there. So 100 by x square plus 5x is equal to 1 we are having there. So in other words what we can say? Bringing this x square plus 5x to this side and bringing 100 also to that side only, it will become x square plus 5x minus 100 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation that we'll be getting in terms of x. And what we can say, as already explained earlier, factorization we are interested in. Product of two numbers should be 100. And here I think we are having 5 also. So we should have 500 then. So that means what we can say, 500 we should have. So product of two numbers should be 500 such that their difference is 5. Sum or difference is 5. Basically sum won't be 5 because it's a big number. So obviously the difference should be 5. So what we understand is minus 500 x square, we should split that one as product of two numbers. So 25 20s is basically 500. So 25x we should have and 20x we should have. And as the sign is plus here, this should be positive, this should be negative. So in other words, what we can say, it will become x plus 25 into x minus 25 as already discussed in question number 1 earlier. So what we can say, as x plus product of two numbers is 0, it will be either first number is 0 or the second number is 0. If the first number is 0, x is minus 25, but the price cannot be negative. So that means this is not the valid result. So valid result should be x minus 20 is 0. That means x is equal to 20. That means the original price is 20 rupees. But the question is not dealing with that one. How many chocolates can be bought earlier? That means when the original price we are considering. So 1800 is the amount that we are having, and we are having basically how much as the price per each chocolate? 20. That means what we can say, 0 0 cancels, 180 by 2. That is nothing but 90. So how many chocolates can be bought originally means 90 chocolates can be bought with the given original amount. So that is what is the question. So let's focus on slightly time consuming question, but this is one of the standard questions that we can look at when we are having questions based on word problems on quadratic equations. So let's look at one more question, that is dealing with quadratic expressions. And whenever we have a quadratic expression, usually the question will be mainly focusing on finding its maximum value or minimum value in that way. Whether it is maximum value or minimum value, it is given by the formula 4ac minus b square by 4a, we all know. And depending on a's value, a being positive or negative, we get a minimum value or maximum value for the quadratic expression, right? So here, making the comparison of the given expression 3x square minus 7x plus 4 with the standard quadratic expression ax square plus bx plus c. In place of a we have 3 as the value. In place of b we have minus 7. In place of 7 we are having, in place of c we are having 4. So those are the values. So as a value is a coefficient is basically positive here, this will be having minimum value. And the value is given by 4ac minus b square by 4a. So if you go for substitution of the values, a is 3, c is 4, minus b square is minus 7 whole square by 4a. So 4 into a is basically 3. So its value will become 4 3 is 12, 12 4 is 48. 48 minus 7 square will be positive only, minus 49 plus 49. So 48 minus 49. That will become basically how much? Minus 1 by 4 3 is 12. So answer half for this question should be minus 1 by 12. And we know as the coefficient of x square term is positive, it should have minimum value. So answer for this question should be choice 3, minimum of minus 1 by 12. So in that way, we can expect the questions based on quadratic equations, and they may be dealing with, majority dealing with what we can say, framing a quadratic equation or solving a quadratic equation, finding the nature of the roots, or sometimes mainly focusing on quadratic expression in that way, right? So let's, this is what is the important point that we can have about quadratic equation. All the best for your preparation.